The Pro Wrestling Push Me poll is an objective, data-based ranking of pro wrestlers by how heavily they were being pushed month on month. Not match quality, not retrospective, nostalgic name value, but a real-time spotlight of who promoters were placing in the biggest spots at the time. The only truly objective way to gauge success in the industry. Wrestlers earn push points for main events, titles held and wrestled for, and appearances on big shows, all weighted by how big their respective companies were at the time. As 1990 wound down, WWF World Champion. The Ultimate Warrior maintained his position at number 1 in the Push Me poll and continued to battle the number 1 contender, Macho King Randy Savage, ranked number 9 this month, on the house show circuit following last month's big angle at the Main Event TV special. Hulk Hogan, often with Tugboat as his cornerman, makes number 8 for December as he continued to main event against Earthquake in front of big houses too. But then a weird thing happened in the WWF. On TV, Sergeant Slaughter, not the Macho King, was named number 1 contender, seemingly out of nowhere, to face Warrior for the title at next month's big Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Slaughter had been receiving a lot of heat for his Iraqi-sympathizing American turncoat gimmick as real-life tensions escalated in the Persian Gulf. And, for better or for worse, there were clearly machinations afoot in the WWF to take advantage of that real-world situation as part of the show. So it was Warrior versus Slaughter set for the Royal Rumble, with former champs Hogan and Savage lurking strongly in the wings. Bubbling under the December top 10 for the WWF, Mr. Perfect officially regained the Intercontinental title from the Texas Tornado on TV, and tag team champions the Hart Foundation moved on from their program against Rhythm and Blues, who'd split up when Honky Tonk Man quit, to a new program against Power and Glory. In New Japan, veteran Tatsumi Fujinami, having recovered from the back injury that kept him out of action for most of 1990, regained the IWGP title from Riki Choshu at the King of Kings TV special on December 26th, and was presented with the belt personally by Antonio Inoki to close the show. This was a big moment, and Fujinami and Choshu come in at a highly placed numbers, 2 and 3 in December's top 10. It was a decent match too, which I've linked to in the video description. Fujinami had tentatively moved back into full-time competition over the last few months, and this was his first title match after coming back. It had a big fight feel, and the two veterans jockey for position, with Fujinami taking the early lead until a huge lariat from Choshu. Choshu takes control with suplexes and stomps and goes for the Scorpion Deathlock, targeting Fujinami's hurt back. Fujinami escapes and hits a dragon screw leg whip but is favoring his bad back. It's all looking too much for the former ace as Choshu hits him with a superplex, but Fujinami rallies with the dragon sleeper. Choshu fights out, but Fujinami pretzels the champion into a bridge, and the Dragon wins his 3rd IWGP title and is back on top of New Japan. Elsewhere on that big show, and all bubbling under this month's top 10, Tony Halm, the future Ludwig Borga, beat Shinya Hashimoto in a shoot-fight-style match. The Blonde Outlaws team of Hiro Saito and Super Strong Machine beat Hiroshi Hash and Kensuke Sasaki to win the IWGP Tag Team titles following lots of interference. Masa Saito beat Nick Bockwinkel in a veterans match. Masahiro Chono beat 74-year-old legend Lou Thez in Thez's retirement match with the STF. Keiji Muto beat Tiger Jeet Singh by DQ. Junior heavyweight champ Jushin Thunder Liger beat Negro Casas. Osamu Kido beat Hiro Matsuda, and the team of Animal Hamaguchi and Kuniaki Kobayashi beat Shiro Koshinaka and Takayuki Iizuka. Big month for New Japan. Big month for All Japan, too, as the annual Real World Tag League reached its conclusion with the Miracle Violence Connection team of Steve Williams and Terry Gordy in at number 4 for December, beating the team of Triple Crown champion Stan Hansen and Danny Spivey in at number 6 to win the tournament. This was another decent, if pretty slow-paced match, which again I've linked to in the video description. Hansen and Danny Spivey were leading the field going into the final match on 20 points, having only had one loss to Jumbo Tsuruta and Akira Taue, and only needing a 30-minute draw to win, with Williams and Gordy on 18 points, having lost to the team of Giant Baba and Andre the Giant and drawn against Terry Funk and Dory Funk Jr. Williams and Gordy needed the outright victory to win both the league and the vacant All Japan World Tag Team titles, which had been vacated after the Great Kabuki left in the summer to join Genichiro Tenryu's new SWS promotion. The match started slow, with Hansen and Spivey isolating Gordy and working over his head and neck. After Gordy's health scare earlier in the year, Williams was now clearly the leader of the team, and he and Hansen absolutely batter each other whenever they get in the ring together. The MVC then isolates Spivey for a spell, with headlocks and mat work interspersed with occasional roughhousing around ringside. A Gordy powerbomb on Spivey looks like it might win it, but Hansen breaks that up. Spivey then hits a DDT on Gordy, which Williams similarly breaks up. The crowd, fairly evenly split for the majority, finally start to get behind the MVC as it becomes apparent that Hansen and Spivey are trying to run the clock down to 30 minutes to get the draw. But the more Williams and Gordy fight, the more Hansen and Spivey respond, and they are all just throwing bombs at each other as the clock ticks down. Hansen goes for his lariat on Doc, but Williams converts into a power slam on Hansen to score the win with about a second left on the clock to win the Tag League and the vacant World Tag Team titles. This was a big re-establishing win for the Miracle Violence Connection and a big statement win for Steve Williams individually, getting a pinfall over the reigning Triple Crown champion Hansen. The match finished strongly, but at 30 minutes, it did take its sweet time getting there. Finally back to the States and to the NWA, which was in the process of formally rebranding all of its TV shows to WCW this month after months of brand confusion. NWA World Champion Sting comes in at number 5 for December as he headlined the company's big Starrcade 90 pay-per-view against the Black Scorpion in a cage match, title versus mask. So much has been written about how bad this angle became, and I've talked about it over the last few months as well. The final few weeks of the Black Scorpion angle leading up to Starrcade were just truly awful, wrestle crap bad, and this had been going on for nearly 6 months at this point and completely derailed Sting's first world title run. Ole Anderson's distorted evil voice interrupting Sting's matches with tepid threats. Members of the audience getting possessed and attacking Sting from the crowd. Sting, the big babyface champion, looking completely helpless and mentally unraveling. Many Black Scorpions come out to start. A flimsy-looking spaceship lands and the real Black Scorpion comes out. And it's Ric Flair with a haircut under a mask. Some fans twig and woo and chant Nature Boy, but Flair tries to wrestle a bland, indistinct style to hide his identity, which just makes the main event of Starrcade a bland, indistinct cage match. Dick the Bruiser is referee and stops Flair/Scorpion from cheating. The crowd is not into the match. Sting wins to retain and unmask Scorpion as Flair as the Horseman bundle Flair away. The end after 6 months of mystery and intrigue. The whole angle had just gone down the toilet and it finally ending at Starrcade, even in a completely nonsensical way, was a mercy killing. It had dominated Sting's big face run as NWA World Champion, somehow made ratings and attendance even worse than they were before, damaged the company, and damaged Sting. An angle that had started off intriguing had ended up one of the worst never-ending storylines WCW had ever run. Ric Flair, who returns to the top 10 at number 7 this month, his reward for taking the Black Scorpion bullet would be another title run, starting in early 1991, and Ole Anderson would be replaced as WCW Booker the next month. Elsewhere at Starrcade, U.S. Tag Team Champions the Steiner Brothers won the Pat O'Connor Memorial International Tag Team Tournament over the Japanese team of the Great Muta and Mr. Saito. The Steiners round out the top 10 for December as a result of that tournament win. Bubbling under the top 10, World Tag Team Champions Doom, Butch Reed and Ron Simmons, versus the Horsemen, Arn Anderson and Barry Windham, in a great street fight match went to a double pin. I'll call that my match of the month for December. And Lex Luger pinned Stan Hansen in a Texas bull rope match to regain the U.S. title. Finally, the year closed out with the Zed-Man Tom Zenk winning the TV title from Arn Anderson. Here's to better things from WCW in 1991, because 1990 was a pretty awful year from the former Jim Crockett promotions. Outside of the Big Four companies, December also saw Rayo de Jalisco Jr., Octagon, Lizmark, El Dandy, and Atlantis presented plaques as 1990's top 5 luchadors at EMLL's final Arena Mexico show of the year. Steve Dahl was the Pacific Northwest champion in Portland, with the Equalizer being pushed well too, while Big Van Vader, wrestling as Bull Power, won the vacant CWA title in Germany. And that's it for December 1990. Please like, share, subscribe, check out the video links in the description, leave any comments below, and join me next time where I'll tot up all the points for every individual month of 1990 for for the top 50 most pushed wrestlers of the year. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Cheers.